Okay, let's start the lecture. So, dear students, welcome to the course Civilizations and Cultures. In this lecture, we will discuss Chinese civilization. I've prepared a presentation. On Chinese civilization. Okay, I hope you see the presentation. Okay, so Chinese civilization, as we have discussed in previous lecture, the future international politics will be shaped according to civilizations. So today we'll discuss Chinese, as the China is rising power in international politics. So in this lecture, we will focus on the emergence of Chinese civilization and mention about the concepts of Tianxia and Zhongguo, and we will mention about Chinese civilization and the schools of thought of China. Okay, so when we speak about certain civilization, experts say that these ancient civilizations evolve around rivers. For example, when we speak about Middle Eastern civilizations, we mainly mention the Mesopotamia, which is the area around the rivers of Euphrates and Tigris. So in Chinese case, the Chinese civilization was developed around the rivers Yangtze and Huanghe. Experts say that civilizations evolve on the basis of agriculture. Okay, so here we should say that generally experts on civilizations mean the sedentary civilization. But also we have nomadic civilization as well, which is evolved on the basis of cattle breeding. Okay, so in Chinese case, the Chinese civilization evolved on the agriculture, especially cultivation of rice. The second, let's say, basis of Chinese civilization is writing. So even the word in modern China, Chinese language, Wenhua, is closely related with the writing. So from Chinese perspective, the civilized person could have ability to write. So the culture and civilization is closely related with writing. Generally, when we speak about a certain civilization, we should understand that one of the main symbols of the civilizations are the writings. For example, when we speak about Islamic civilization, we know that it is based on Arabic writings. When we speak about Orthodox Christianity, we understand that it is based on Kirill alphabet, and Western civilization is based on Latin alphabet. So, as the original language of the Bible was Latin language. Okay, so in this case, one of the main symbols of Chinese civilization is the Chinese characters. And generally, Chinese civilization is well known with its understanding of history. Yeah, they say that we have 5,000-year history with the longest history in the world. So this understanding of the history was based on the understanding of the concept of Tianxia. Literally, Tianxia is translated as the land under heaven, or the land under sky. The Tian means sky in Chinese. But interestingly, the historians and scholars who study Chinese civilization say that this concept of sky god, or Tian and Tianxia, was adopted from nomadic people. Why? Because the original god of Chinese community was the ground or earth god, as they were agricultural community. So the understanding of Tianxia was introduced to China by the Zhou dynasty, which ruled China beginning from 1,000 years BC. According to Tianxia understanding, the emperors or kings of the Zhou dynasty were considered as the sons of the heaven, the sons of sky god Tianzi. So they represented God on earth. So they ruled according to this understanding. While we speak about the concept of Tianxia, we should also mention the concept of Zhongguo. It is literally means the Middle Kingdom. By the way, even today, the Chinese state in Chinese language is called Zhongguo. So the Chinese civilization consider themselves as the center of the universe. So in fact, every civilization has this understanding. For example, in Roman Empire, they have the concept of Pax Romana, Roman peace. So beyond the Roman peace, there were barbarians. The same case in China. In Islamic civilization, there is a concept of Darus Salam, the realm of peace, the place, the area of peace. So beyond the Darus Salam, there is a Darul Harb or Darul Kufr, the realm of war, the realm of instability. Okay. When we speak about Chinese civilization, we should keep in mind that it was evolved around dynasties, certain dynasties. There are hundreds of dynasties, but interestingly, they all considered as Chinese dynasties. Why? Because of the concept of Tianxia. So they all, these all dynasties considered themselves as the representative of sky gods. So in other words, the concept of Tianxia was the basis of Chinese civilization. So generally, Chinese dynasties begin with Xia dynasty, but it is mythical dynasty because there is no written evidence about the existence of this dynasty. Shang dynasty is the original Chinese dynasty whose god was Earth god. Zhou dynasty came from the north of China. They were a semi-nomadic dynasty who introduced the concept of Tianxia to China. With the decline of the Zhou dynasty, there was a period of warring states, the period of instability. So this period also have certain effects, especially the Chinese schools of philosophy, schools of thought emerged during this period. So generally, I think it is fair to start Chinese history with the Zhou dynasty, as they were who established the understanding of Tianxia. Okay, so after the period of warring states, Qing dynasty, the Q is read as Qi in Chinese, Qing dynasty, and its emperor Qin Shi Huang succeeded uniting, consolidating the Chinese states. So, but because of the severity of the Qin Shi Huang, this dynasty collapsed and was replaced by Han dynasty. We'll come to the ideologies of Qin dynasty and Han dynasty. Here are the continuation of Chinese dynasties. So I've given this list in order to show that many of Chinese dynasties had nomadic origin. For example, Western Qin dynasties, Jurchen dynasty. We have the Shurshut, for example. Shurshut is Jin dynasty. And Tang dynasty also has some relation with nomadic dynasties. It is called Tabrash in Turkic inscriptions. Then we have Liao dynasty. Liao is Karakatay dynasty, so it is also nomadic dynasty which ruled China during this period. After Liao, we have Yuan dynasty, which was established by the descendants of Genghis Khan, Kubilai Khan. Kubilai. Ming is originally Chinese dynasty, and the last dynasty of China, Qing dynasty, is also a nomadic dynasty. So when you see the list, you can understand that Chinese civilization evolved in the interaction of sedentary Chinese dynasty and nomadic people. Okay, concerning the Chinese schools of thought, as you know, the China is well known with its philosophers, and there are many philosophers like Lao Tzu, Confucius, Han Feizi, Mo Zhi, Mohe Meng Shi, Zhuangzi, many. So these schools of thought emerged during the warring state period with the decline of Zhou dynasty. So here, after the Zhou dynasty, we have warring states period. So during this period, the philosophers, or thinkers, intellectuals try to find a way how to establish the security. So every school of thought proposed their way to solve this problem. For example, Han Feizi proposed that in order to establish state, to unite the state, to unite the China, one needs very strict rules. So on the basis of this understanding, Qin Shi Huang from Qin dynasty established Qin dynasty. But because of the severity, as I said, it collapsed, and Han dynasty replaced it. And the main ideology of Han dynasties was Confucian ideology. So beginning from that period, the Confucianism became the, let's say, official ideology, official philosophy of Chinese civilization. So that's all what I wanted to say. We will continue discussion on Monday. See you on Monday.